Hi YouTube, I'm going to be making some vegan chocolate chip cookies. So these are obviously going to be dairy-free, egg-free, and so I'm just going to get right into it so I don't make this a super long video like my last one. And so again, this is for vegan chocolate chip cookies. Okay, so the ingredients that you're going to need to make these cookies is, first we're going to get started with, in substitute for the eggs, we're going to do a flaxseed meal. So this recipe calls for 2 eggs. Instead, I've done 2 tablespoons of flaxseed meal mixed in with 6 tablespoons of water. And I'm just letting that sit for a few minutes so it can get kind of similar to egg-like consistency. So then you are going to need vegan margarine. You can also use earth balance, salt, flour, sugar or white sugar, brown sugar. You're going to need baking soda, and then you're going to need dairy-free chocolate chips. So I have used the Enjoy Life chocolate mega chunks. I love these, they're amazing. So without further ado, let's get started. So we're going to start off with 1 cup of your vegan margarine, and then we're going to cream this with our sugar. So here's 1 cup of brown sugar, and now what I do is I fill this up about halfway and just kind of eyeball it really. And then I fill the other half up with the white sugar. So all in all, you need 2 cups of sugar. So again, that was about 1.5 cups of brown sugar, and then another half a cup of white sugar. And then we're going to cream this together. I always just use a fork to cream it together. And you're just going to do that until it comes to creamy-like consistency. About a minute to cream together. And so you can see here that everything's mixed together and it's now turned creamy. You can't see any bits of brown sugar left in it. So that's awesome. So now we are going to add our flaxseed meal. So let's see if I can show you the consistency here. So I've let this sit for a little bit, and this is to substitute our eggs. So it's either the flaxseed meal or 2 eggs in here. Okay, and then we're going to give that a mix. So till it looks like this, where it is now more liquidy, more easy to work with. So then what we're going to do is then add, so we're going to add a teaspoon of baking soda. And I always put a little less salt. So a little less than a teaspoon of salt. And I'm just going to give that a mix. Now I have run out of vanilla, so this is when you would add your vanilla also, and it's a teaspoon of vanilla. I've run out, but that's okay. These are still going to taste absolutely fine. And so now what's left is our flour. And it's 3 cups of flour. So there's 1. And 2. And 3. I always just leave leave a little bit left in the cup just to see. It depends how moist it is. And so we're just going to slowly mix this in. So this is still a little bit too moist, so I'm going to add the last little bit of my flour. Okay, now we're just going to add our chocolate chips. So it's about 2 cups of chocolate chips. You can add more or less depending on how you like your cookies. So this is what the chunks look like. I swear they're just like little candy bars that are just broken up in there. But they taste so good, especially when like they're nice and melted from the oven. So I definitely recommend the Enjoy Life brand to those who need something that's soy-free and dairy-free, egg-free, and I think these are also free of tree nuts and soy, free of milk and peanuts. Okay, so there is our cookie batter. Easy as pie. So now what I'm going to do is I've already had my oven preheated to 350 degrees, and I'm just going to take a tablespoon and I'm going to form these into even balls and then put them on a cookie sheet and then bake them for about 8 to 10 minutes depending on how they're looking in the oven. You just basically want the outsides to be golden brown, but they're still a little soft in the center because they're going to continue cooking even after you take them out of the oven, but I will show you that on video as well. Okay, so I'm going to show you the best I can here. So I just kind of take a rounded scoop like that and just make them even every time. You don't have to grease your baking sheets, and then I just roll them into a ball. And then I put them down and I just kind of give them a little tap to flatten them out a little bit. You don't really have to tap them down, it's just something I've always done. And so ball just like that. And just like that. So you're going to do the same thing until the sheet is full. So these are what they're like when they come out of the oven. So as you can tell, they have expanded, they look firm. So I'm just letting them rest for a second, and I don't know if you'll be able to tell. They're still, they look a little soft, but I'm still leaving them on the pan when they're really, really hot. And then I'll take them off and then put them on the cookie sheet, and they'll cool. And they'll be like crisp right around the edges and soft and chewy on the inside. And don't they look so good? I wish I could just share the smell of them.